News Radio 740 KTRH.
My son Jake, he's 12, so he's part of Generation Z, which began sometime, I don't know, around between 1995 and 2000. Gen Z kids seem to be conservative. What do you think the reasons are for that? My son Jake certainly is, but I guess it's because he listens to his dad.
Oh, good morning, Matt. I'm just as fascinated as you are concerning this. It's almost, I was talking with one of your colleagues, Cliff, yesterday.
Yeah.
And he coined something, maybe unwittingly, but he was talking about the Alex P. Keaton effect. Do you remember Family Ties?
Sure.
Alex P. Keaton was so conservative. He had Nixon on his bedroom wall, and
sure.
His parents were kind of bent in the other direction politically.
Right.
That's almost what we have going on here. I mean, I think young people are naturally skeptical of their parents. That's healthy. In fact, it's funny. You can go back as far as Socrates, 2,500 years ago, and he said this. He said that pupils have in low esteem their teachers. So, the situation has always been around, and so if what parents are telling their Gen Z kids is suspect, then I think it's natural for them to try to figure it out. And it seems like there's this continuous feedback loop of generations doing that.
Yeah, I agree. See, I don't want to interrupt you, but that's what I agree with. I mean, you've seen this. You go back to, again, World War II. You take those generations, previous to World War II, and then, then you have World War II, then the generations afterwards, and the children that came, say in the 50s and then the 60s, and you see them developing, and I think that's what the Gen Z kids are, having come at the time that they did. They see the world in a particular way. They want to change it, so they're moving to the right.
Yeah, no question. The Gen Zs were literally born into the Google age. I mean, they've never not known or been surrounded by these electronic rectangles. So if your son is like my 4 kids, we'll be sitting at dinner and they'll pull their phone out and they'll spot check me on anything I say right there. So it's hard to get away. My parents got away with things.
Yeah.
We're not getting away with as much.
Yeah,
so I think that's also a factor.
With politics, I get away with everything, but sports, I got to tell you, sometimes I can't remember exactly the years or the hits or the touchdowns or something. And my son Jake, he's got his phone. Dad, you're wrong. Dad, you're wrong. So you're absolutely right. Well, that's good. And the Gen Z kids, hopefully, as conservative as they are, will help others as they come into the world and they get a little bit older. It's going to be very, very interesting. What do you think the next generation would be? So if we got these kids that are a bit conservative, do you think it's going to start turning around and going the other way?
I used to be in the financial business, and we would put a stop loss on an individual stock so that if the price fell, it wouldn't go below a certain level.
Right.
I think that's what happens with generations. I mean, each generation has its own challenges. Right now it's economic or political or terrorism, whatever it might be. But there's this cultural stop loss that prevents a free society, I think, from going too far in one direction or the other. I mean, take the Trump presidency. It's an exact opposite, theoretically, of the Obama presidency.
Indeed.
And so about every 10 or 20 years, you've got generations that are saying, I don't think that was right. Previous generation, I'm going to go in this direction. So yep. I expect it to continue.
Excellent. Jim Whedon, expert on generational differences. Check out the book, The Old School Advantage. And again, I thank you for the advantage of talking with you this morning, my friend. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure.